Item number 2, approval of minutes from the council meetings. June 15th at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., June 22nd, June 29th, July 6th, July 13th, July 15th, and July 22nd, 2026. If no objections are registered, the council chair shall approve the same as written. Objections? Item 3, approval of and sign warrants number 9 through 15 in the amount of $990,584.60. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Item 4, acceptance of gifts, donations, and grants. Move to approve and accept the following gifts, donations, and grants in the amount of $196.75 as detailed below. From Denise Lynn Moore and Nancy Christensen, $50, and canned donations, $146.75.
Okay.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Item 5, chairman's, town manager's comments. I have nothing. Okay. Item 6, monthly reports. Council.
I have two things. Into that, please. Thank you.
Taken care of. Residents and/or Lincoln taxpayers to comment prior to council action on agenda items. Individuals wishing to be heard by the council will be recognized by the council chair. The individual must identify themselves to the council by first and last name and/or business owner. After identifying themselves, the speaker may make brief comments regarding items on the agenda that do not have a public hearing. The council chair may set a time limit on the length of the public comment and/or a time limit for individual speakers. Start on this side.
Well, when I started managing people and managing a budget, I had budgets anywhere from 15 million down to 3 million. When I first started, you were twice a year reviewing the budget. Once in the 6-month period, see where you are, where you hope to be, and then at the end. Well, the business world changed, and they started holding us accountable on a month-to-month basis. And if we did more of that, okay, allowing the department heads to explain where the variances are, why there's a variance, maybe there's a variance because it looks like we're not spending a whole lot, but some big ticket item might be coming up in the next month or two, you know? But if we hold them accountable, we might not have to go through this whole budget process that we did three months prior to the budget actually getting approved. If we knew where we are step by step, month to month, you know, whatever, that'd be a good idea. Okay, this is where we could maybe save a little money or something like that. But I think that's a great idea too. I think the 7 was more in line with that too. So I really have to say, I really was excited about that. I can't wait. So, to speak.
Thank you. Yeah, one, yeah.
In this process, so I hope I didn't mess anything up and get out of order. On item number 24 on the agenda, it's to, my wife and I would like to donate some land adjacent to the dam at Stump Pond so the town can make improvements to the dam, especially to the parking area. It's very dangerous. I had to put a boat in there yesterday and my car was out to the center line or what would be the center line of the road. It's a blind curve. I was just hoping the logging truck wasn't coming when I was out there. So we want to donate up to 1 acre of ground. And the other item that really needs to be corrected is right now the tax maps show us as the owners of the existing launch ramp and by the dam. We don't own that. That was given to the town by the Haskell family some years ago. And we've been trying to get that corrected. So if there's ever an injury there, the lawyer's going to come after us. And it'll eventually get straightened out, but it'll be a lot of headaches. So I'll be happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else on this side?
Possible, whether or not it's feasible, you know, to dissolve the one district and actually make it a department of the town government like it used to be prior to. Oh, I'm not sure, man, but this article mentioned that there was a big proliferation of a special district from 62 to 82, obviously, a 40-year-old article, so, it's a little outdated, but I'm sure the concept is still the same. A lot of things that they do, town does, are similar. That personnel, they're all getting older, there may be some, let's say, we'll just say 5-year timeline. So some of them be looking to retire, and I'm sure that what they do on a daily basis could be incorporated in the town government fairly easily. The other thing is equipment. Even though theirs isn't as large, obviously, in the town of Lincoln, they basically have the same equipment. They have a front end loader, pickup, dump truck, probably, items like that, that basically from that or paid for. That would have been a perfect location right next to a fire station. But that's in the past, so I'm thinking, if it could come to pass that we could dissolve the water district, there's a building there that could be expanded. It's fairly close to town, and that's the biggest issue that I think the town states, that people, want a town office that basically in the center of town. Well, that's not gonna happen, but where the water district is located is just about as close as you're gonna get. So, I won't, delve into detail and all these little, things that could be or whatever. I just thought of the concept, maybe that's something that towns can possibly look at, maybe they have in the past, I don't know. But if they haven't, maybe it's something that they could look at in the future, and it might benefit the town on a whole. It might not, but it doesn't hurt to look into it and ask. If you don't, you'll never know one way or the other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. Anybody else on this side?
Tipping floor is that, there's not such a hazard as it is going to the landfill. So if they're gonna haul that with their trucks, do we pay the tires that get nails in them on the trailer or the municipally owned? I mean, it's a high thing going in and out the landfill. One thing about it at 440, if you do go, is you won't have to pay for the 10 ties that's on the tractor anyway. But with that, it's a solid program that they offer the town, in that you're gonna get, your numbers are gonna be up for recycling, because they take a lot of that stuff out in their process. So with that being said, you won't have so much at the landfill, at the transfer to recycle either. If you put it in there and it's taken out automatically, and that helps you on the state level to show that you're making an effort to recycle. But at 441 a trip, that's a bargain for us. $4 less a ton for 3,800 tons. That adds up to it to make it affordable. And my working with his company has been great all along, and we've been doing business with them off and on for whatever, 8, 10 years or whatever, I guess. And everything's been great, and Mike's been a guy's, whatever he tells you, that's what he does. So I think it'd be a good marriage on doing that. Now, the part about jumping, you're not gonna vote on it tonight per se, but jumping on and letting them, running the transfer station and inviting other towns in, I don't know is, what my feeling would be for that. Third parties, but that's a whole different thing. I mean, you guys are gonna vote whether you want to have them to haul your trailers now. We're hauling them down there, and I think that going there, that the guys at the Public Works probably happy with not having to put tires on as much on the vehicles going to like when we went to Perk, that was the same way. You just dumped on a tipping floor and it was cleaned off fairly well, and every once in a while, but you take out a front tire and you can't put that back on, that's $800 right down the drain, thing. Yeah, but that's gonna be a savings in that part for the, for that department. I mean, I had to Phantom, it cost me 20,000 in tires to go into the landfill there, and, some years, but the benefit of going to, going to this MRF, which is is a good thing, and it was a good thing at Perk. And Perk doesn't look, stable as they used to be. And when I talked with Wade about it, was my thought was I'd hate to see us have to pay double for trash, because we've been in an agreement with APAC for been hauling trash through them for quite a few years. So since Perk shut down, so but he's been told by the lawyers or whatever that it's we can go forward in the same way with Mike's company. I just hate to see us have to end up paying double for the trash. The side effect of going there is we have to figure out a different way to take care of the shingles and the other things, that construction debris and bulky waste and whatever. And I think that if they put it in the trailers and haul it for something, a trip to the landfill is gonna work out good for us. And that's certainly a way of getting that out of our waste stream too, because you want to take care of everything that the people bring there, because if we don't, she's gonna end up in the woods and crap, and that's happened many a time. So we want to make sure that we got a simple, easy way to take care of all them other things that they don't take. But I just wanted to let you know, I think that's a good move on the town's part to go with them and go in that direction. That's all I got.
Anybody else on this side?
Apologize, I have jet lag. I just got back from Okinawa visiting my deployed son, and that was at 2 a.m. this morning, so I'll try to focus. I want to address number 26, I believe, the Loon Festival. Councilman Rowe is looking to have that be self-supporting. I believe in the past, people have talked about the Chamber of Commerce, taking that over. I was a president of the Chamber of Commerce for 2 years. My tenure ended in December 2025. I just want to say I'm no longer involved in any way, shape, or form, so I'm not speaking for them. I do believe that I still have a pretty good idea of, how they're operating. Their board is consisted of many very busy people who are business owners, and they also are involved in many other volunteer organizations. To put this on them or ask them to do this, I believe is very unfair. They don't have the time to fundraise. They don't have the time to organize. And I don't believe that that is a good direction. Thank you.
Charlie Dwelly, Lincoln. I'm just gonna ask on number 16 that, don't hurry this. I don't think the taxpayers need to be involved in public housing. And to me, there would seem to be a conflict of interest there when one of the names is in the Lincoln Lakes Innovation Corps and their name's on half a dozen of the different blocks of land at the mill. Did this go out to bid, or is this just being given to a couple individuals? Thank you.
Javette Mayo. This is not working, I guess. I am not in favor of the hauling contract, but if it's better for the town, that's great. But if you found a solution for where you're going to take the rest of the trash, that is even better. I am concerned that the hauling contract wasn't part of the agenda as a backup material. And I'm also concerned with the language that says, and other related agreements. I can't imagine that you would say that in a motion, not knowing what those other agreements are. With regards to number 13, the roadside mowing, we're going to spend $9,100 this year. I'm sure we spent similar to that last year and the previous years. How many years do you think it would take for us to get our own equipment and do our own roadside mowing? I think this should be the last year that we do that. And we should actually put something in the budget. We have public works people who can do the work. We just need the piece of equipment, or maybe we rent the equipment. We've got the men that do it. So let's not spend $9,100 frivolously. Let's see, number 16, I'm also in agreement with Charlie that we're moving forward without even going out to bid for other entities that could provide us with housing. And when the town was involved in the Penquist project on Main Street, that was a good thing because it helped the seniors. I'm not sure what this housing will do for the people of Lincoln, because right now we don't even have a business on the mill site. And I think you're jumping the gun by signing this contract. And again, I agree with Charlie that there's some conflict of interest there with these people. One in particular is on the current board that oversees the mill site, and his name is on some of the land lots that are part of that agreement. And I went to the Maine.gov website that shows the list of corporations, and I see a dooryard. In fact, there were 14 dooryards listed in that website, and none of them that I saw were in that lady's name. And I see that the agenda item says something about it being dooryard or Carol Wilbur doing business as dooryard. But the agreement is with 25 Katahdin Avenue LLC. So which is it? Which are we doing business with? And the other thing I'm concerned about is number 19 regarding the Maine Consulting Group of Maine, the assessing firm that you're going to try to hire. I read the contract. I don't see a start date. And I don't see any requirement to do any monthly reporting as to what they're doing and how far they've gotten. So I'd be really concerned about that, especially where we are now with the assessing dilemma that we're in now. And I agree with Ed regarding items 20 through 27. This is about time that the council decide that they need transparency in these large ticket items. And what I thought might be missing only is maybe a deadline for these reports to get done. And if that happens, that Mr. Schaefer is gone before they're completed, I would think you would ask him to provide you with the work papers so that the next manager doesn't have to recreate the wheel. With regards to other items not on the agenda, my question is, I'm assuming Ruth is still the assessor because she provided an assessing monthly report. Will she be doing a straight across the board increase in this year's tax assessment or commitment? It looks like by looking at the website regarding the assessing records, that there's already been approximately 20% across the board given to all the accounts for the 26, 27 assessments. I am really concerned that this is going to drive us right out of whack again. That's not the way to go. And the other question that's not on the agenda is, where's the list of tax liens that have been foreclosed? Is the town going to use a real estate broker to sell the tax acquired property? And if so, where's the list and who's the broker and how far along are we in this process? And again, I'm also concerned about the tax collector's monthly report. Her current report says at the top, it's a fiscal year total for the abatements and supplements, but they're a continuation of the numbers that were in June's report. July is the first month of the new year. They should have all been zeros unless there was something done in the month of July. Thank you.
Okay, Nancy Erickson, resident homeowner. I went back and I was reading the town charter because there was so much talk about it. And I have a question on the dates back on that section 602. The town manager has until 35 days before the end of the year, which would be May 26th, to get his budget in. And then within no later than 60 days before the beginning of the new fiscal year, that's when the town council has to approve the budget with or without changes. That would be May 2nd. I don't know if I'm reading this wrong or what, but I'm trying to figure out how the town manager, how the town council is able to approve the town manager's budget by May 2nd if the town manager doesn't have to have it in for another 3 weeks yet. I would.
So what the charter says is the timing requirement for the town manager preparing the draft budget is the date that you advised, but the town council has within 60 days of the end of the prior fiscal year to either adopt the town manager's budget or the town manager's budget becomes the budget. So the fiscal year of the town ends June 30. Look at July 1st as the very next date. So you go 60 days from July 1st, that takes you out to August 30th. That's the date that correlates to your second question. Okay, thanks.
Anybody?
Everybody knows who I am. But anyway, I got a question on that, Loon Fest self-sustaining. What's that mean? Okay, I'm one of the first founders of, Homecoming. There was three or four of us that started Homecoming years and years ago. We had to go around town selling dollar tickets on the corner in order to sustain enough money to pay back the 10,000 that the town gave us to use. Okay. What my question is today is how much money does it cost for the Loon Festival? What's that, later? Huh? Okay, someday. But, money spent today compared to how much gave before, and,
It's fine today, 46.
huh?
Hours, Lincoln resident. So I think I've been discussed a couple of times here today, so I just thought I'd come up and thank you for the questions and the concerns, very much so, because if there are questions and concerns, we definitely want them aired out. And I'm not going to take time to address those right now, but I would like people to know that there was an RFP that myself and Kara Wilbur, who have been really fortunate to hook up with. She's very experienced in this arena of housing like this. So, it's a great thing. And, but my phone number is really easy to remember. It's 290 and then 290 with a 1. So 290-2901. Please call, talk to Steve, Levesque or Ruth. Let's get those questions aired out and answered. So thank you very much.
Bobby Storman. Can I just request that number 26 be tabled until the next meeting when all the information about Loon Festival is in? And I believe that the communications director is back by then, so he could also answer any questions.
Thank you. Anybody else on this side of the room? Council? Gordon?
Was gathered, got featured. I don't know how many of you, if any of you saw it, in a meta advertisement online. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, it's worth taking a look at. That was very impressive. It's very, very good for Gather to get that kind of attention. And then I really am also very impressed with what the town office has been doing. The budget has been cut, somewhat for the town office, and they're still putting out quite a good bit of work there and providing services to the entire community. And the town council keeps asking for more work. So I am kind of hoping off on that. One of the things is that my understanding is that we are a town council town manager, the budget, not a select form of budget, need to be backing off, giving the town manager operate and handle his own staff kind of micromanaging. Matter of fact, my understanding is that the way things are with our charter, we really started, the council had started asking for a lot of things that are not consistent with our role in charter. And I'd like to see us, giving more time and attention to our people that we hire to actually get the work done and not hit it.
Okay, I'll close open forum. Item 8, executive session, suggested motion, move to retire into executive session pursuant to Title 1 MRSA, Section 4056C, for the town attorney to consult with the town council as to its rights and duties concerning pending matters, including contract rights and duties, litigation, and pending claims where premature public knowledge will place the town at a substantial disadvantage. Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion?
I'm just a little concerned. This one seems a little vague to me. I was curious as to not knowing what's going on with this.
Prior question raised by a famous awardee of the highly coveted Freedom of Access Law Award, who's also a member of the Lincoln News, asked the question, do you need to name the specific person who's the subject of an executive session on personnel? Answer, no. He thinks otherwise. These items address factors that will be discussed in motion that will follow the executive session. So what you see on the agenda tonight is much of what you'll hear in executive session. I just don't want myself or colleagues on the council to be embarrassed by a lack of recollection as to what you've already done. So I'm trying to spare the public embarrassment of questions and answers that can otherwise be provided in executive session, and it will affect the competitive or bargaining position of the town. There comes a point where you have to defer to an attorney that's been working on executive session motions for more than 3 decades. I know the Lincoln News Reporter won't do that, but maybe the council might. Thank you.
All those in favor? 7-0. We are in at 40.
clear. It might be the One other option back there.
Could be part of the problem, everybody doing
Maybe.
this.
That's what we don't want.
Executive session at 8:38. Item number nine, approve contract and authorize town manager. Suggested motion, move to approve the hauling contract and any other related agreements with Municipal Waste Solutions and to authorize the town manager to sign the hauling contract and other related agreements to be advanced to the council at a future meeting. And second, any? All those in favor? 7-0. Item 10A, public hearing, establishment of zones 1311.3. Suggested motion, move to open a public hearing for the purpose of hearing oral and written comments on the proposed revisions to the Lincoln Town Ordinance 1311, establishment of zones to amend intended uses of the industrial development zone to an industrial mixed-use development zone. Motion's been made, seconded. Any discussion? Go for the public hearing? Okay. All right, all those in favor? 7-0. Public hearing, 8:39. Does the public have any comments, questions? Thank you. Any other comments? No, I'll close the public hearing. Council, anything? Pardon? Hearing at 8:41. Approve, suggested motion, move to approve the revisions to the Lincoln Town Ordinance 11 establish an industrial mixed-use development zone. Motion. Discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Item number 11, approve a closure. Suggested motion, move to approve closing all town departments on Wednesday, September 17th for the annual Employee Safety Training Day. Emergency personnel will be responding directly from the training location. Made, seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Item number 12, award bid winter sand. Suggested motion, move to award the winter sand bid to SAG Realty in the amount of $4.25 per cubic yard. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Yeah. Any other discussion? All those in favor? 0. Item 13, award bid roadside mowing. Suggested motion move to award the roadside mowing bid to King Seasonal Solutions in the amount of $9,100. Councilor Hannigan?
10 years at some dollars,
91.
91,000, but you know, if we bought a arm to go on a tractor, that could be 150,000, you know? But maybe we should maybe at least look into that later down the road.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I'm not all for getting another piece of equipment and not really utilizing it, but still, that's a lot of money to lay out every year for 10 grand.
Any other discussion? 7-0. Transfer, suggested motion move to authorize the transfer of funds in the amount of $228,800 from the FY 26 budget to reserve accounts at Bangor Savings Bank as listed below. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? In favor? 7-0. Item 15, appoint members. Suggested motion move to appoint the following individuals for a 1-year term on the appeals board. Laffey, Sigonia, Mary LaMonaco, Georgia.
We'll move. I don't know, it quite don't pertain to this actual thing, Steve, but Mr. Chairman, do we have an assessing board also, assessment board? The assessment board? Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? 6-1, I opposed. Being approved. Just a motion. Was housing between the town of is the agent for tree line. I do think it's worth noting that I was did abstain from this subject at the board he's on currently. So he had no input, no say in that decision. All those in favor? 7-0. Item 17, authorized economic development team. Suggested team to move forward with the development of TIF agreements with site. In favor? 7-0. Motion move to appoint Denton Trotter as the addressing agent for the town of Lincoln. Right in the. Any other discussion? Yeah. All those in favor? 7-0. Item 19, appointment. Suggested motion, move to appoint Maine Consulting Group of Maine as contractual primary assessor for the term of 1 year in the amount of 85,000 per the attached proposal, and accept the additional hourly rates in the attached memorandum. Any discussion? Calvin?
1 year, and it's a 2-year contract. Can be renewed, so within the year. Say every quarter is gonna be tax value coming to the coffers. There's gonna be an updated. So as we find things, it's gonna be updated with the tax maps and deeds and everything like that. So then the revenue will start coming in. All right, thank you, Dan.
Mr. Chair, I don't know if it's possible, but it was, I think, for the council as far as how the assessing company is progressing. Is that? I can't guarantee that because I don't know how it's gonna work.
Andy?
It's been a couple in the shoe to many people in this town for the last few years. May not be money it may be money well spent. We don't want to wait 6 months to a year and find out a year from now, we're right back to where we're still at right
Councilor Roble?
I understand both concerns. I think perhaps you can work with the company and ask them for some quarterly or regular update. Because I agree, we can't wait a year to see what's going on, but come up with a reasonable time period for update.
Any other discussion? Gordon?
The microphone. Yes, those are two different things because they're coming to an assessing department that has had some, not everything is right up to snuff. So the added cost has to do with how long it's gonna take them to go through the previous things and bring everything current. That's what that's for. That's why there's an addendum to that. Because I had reached out to the company and asked them about what that would cost extra to get in order because their agreement is assuming coming into an office that's all set and they're just turning it over to an outside contractor, and that's not entirely the case. No, they have not come in to look at that to give, to kind of assess from the outside. The answer is no, they have not.
All right, so we.
Yes.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? 0. Item 20, direct town manager, table of organization. Suggested motion, move to direct the town manager to develop a table of organization for each town department outlining each required position to include professional requirements or experience. A, complete description for each position. B, assigned pay level for each. C, optional training to be listed separately. C, concurrently develop or create a pay scale for each position based on level of responsibility and seniority. I have a motion, we can't. Discuss.
Sounds easy, and one of the speakers earlier made it sound really easy and a usual thing for a corporation to do. The town office is a different place, and I think you've begun to appreciate that you have to have a little bit of patience so that you don't stress the very person who's hung in there. He's hung in there when he said he was getting ready to exit the town, and he hung in. So I would just ask the movement to consider whether you might want to table this and bring it back at a later date when he's had a chance to get more of his legs under him and he has the opportunity to advance. I think it's an interesting motion. It's somewhat inconsistent with the town manager plan of government as outlined in the state statute and as outlined in your charter. I also think you have to be really careful from a personnel perspective as to putting too much financial detail into the public record. But with all that said, I'm not vehemently opposed to this as town attorney. I would ask you to consider the format for the town of Lincoln until you change your charter is it's the town manager plan of government. And you've given this particular town manager a lot of responsibility and he's worked through everything that you've asked him to. Just be careful not to ask too many questions of him because it's a lot. So I'll leave it there.
Already have and how much, I mean, I do recognize that I think this is something we need that we don't have, but.
Job descriptions we have. Job descriptions are there. We don't have a pay scale. It seems to be, the only ones who have a pay scale near as I can tell is the unions. There's no across the board that I've found. It seems to be all over the place. So I think trying to at some point bring some order to that would be a good thing. But one thing I'd mentioned to somebody, and if this is the right time or not, I don't know, so stop me. I appreciate what you said. Thank you. However, I was going to say basically that there are things that I think need to be done at the town office and while I'm here, that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm not trying to be a jerk or I'm not trying to buck anybody, but there are some things that I see that I would absolutely love to see worked on before I leave this place. So whoever the next person comes in, that it's in a better position. Somebody mentioned tonight, I don't remember where it was at, I hope it wasn't an executive session or I'm going to be in trouble. But somebody mentioned tonight, it'd be great if the town manager had something in place. So the next person comes in, they can be up to speed. And you can ask Counselor Island, that's one of the things that I've am trying to work on, that there is something in place for the next person to come in so they can be that much further ahead. There was absolutely nothing to go by when I came into that office. Didn't know where to find anything. So everything has been stumbling over in order to find answers to questions. I don't disagree with what you have on there, Counselor Rojo, from a personal standpoint. I'm just telling you what my focus is going to be for the immediate future. If I'm here longer and I got time to do these things, this all gets passed, I'm happy to do it. But there are some things I really want to work on in the town office to move that forward.
Understand. I think some of the motions I have here are necessary items to help management without having to be tomorrow. So with this and the other items, my suggestion would be that you give us a timetable or a deferral of time. You can say, I can do this within a certain amount of time. No, this is not a priority, but leave them as action items that if you stay long enough to get them done, fine. If not, your successor will have a continuing mandate of things that can help manage the town better. That's the whole point.
Be curious, I'm not saying right now, but I would be curious as to get a list from you as to what, as town manager, what your priorities should be. So I think that would be very insightful for us council to know. Number two, I agree with Councilor Street that this should be tabled, and most of these should be tabled. And I'll tell you why. It's not because I disagree with Councilor Rojo. These things need to happen. In my opinion, it's not the town manager best use of time. It should actually be probably a third-party consulting firm that comes in with a fresh set of eyes, can look through everything and then put the information together. So with that said, Councilor Street, I'm going to join you in requesting that this gets tabled.
Motion's been made and seconded to table. Item 21. All those in favor? Oh, 20, yeah, sorry, 20. Maybe in a minute. Any other discussion on motion? Table, all those in favor? Councilor Harrington and Rojo opposed. Table one. Manager, listing of all events in the town. Just a motion move to direct the town manager to ensure that a listing of all events in the town is developed, constantly updated, to be included in the town page and all appropriate media. Councilor Moisen?
I don't, as a core function of the town. The Chamber of Commerce does a great job of promoting events in town. The town does a good job on posting events when they're notified that events are happening. But when you talk about what is important for town staff to be working on, I think this is not it. My opinion.
I would add that, this is another thing that we are putting on the town manager to do, that be in the way of getting things done that are important to get done before the next town manager comes. And so I would, again, think that it's not that it's a bad idea. It's just that I think that it's a little premature.
He's the person we communicate with. Obviously, I don't expect him to do it. You know, we have an events manager, we have communications, and that information just needs to be gathered because as a member of the Chamber of Commerce, I find the Chamber of Commerce to be a useless organization. Since the time I paid the dues for the museum, I have yet to be called to a meeting. I have yet to see any action. I would like to see the Chamber of Commerce be like other chambers of commerce that really promote the town, promote the activities, promote business. But we are far away from that. So my motion is simply, if we know what the events are, put them on the town page. Make sure that people know. That's the whole point.
Encourage and support the chamber in becoming what it should be. Not that we say there is a task that really ought to be done by somebody else, and since it's not being done, we will take it on. To me, that is, we could end up with an amazing number of tasks. And I can tell you that I think that the events coordinator, who happens to also be the communications director, is pretty swamped with stuff at certain times of the year, and trying to keep up with this seems like it would be rather excessive for him.
Any other discussion?
This is definitely not an essential service that the town needs to be providing, so I totally concur with Counselor Moisen. That this really isn't something that we should be using our man hours to do.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? 1-6 opposed. Councilor Rojo voted in favor. The rest voted opposed. Item 22, manager audit findings. Suggested motion move to direct the town manager to update the council on findings by the auditors. Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion?
Don't think we really know. So it would be a question to just ask the auditors to give us an update.
I agree.
Oh, it's not public discussion. No, I wasn't talking to you.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
I understand where Councilor Rojo is coming from. And any of us that served on the council for years past, we have asked for most of this information. And I understand now with putting it at your feet, and I understand where the town attorney is coming from. We should have patience. I think now we're trying to just try to make a good, strong effort going forward, you know, and we should have never allowed all this to happen, you know, and kudos to you. I think you're doing a smash up job.
Really want is, when we can, is to make a request of the auditors to come and give us an update. And to me, that just goes into, future agenda items rather than being a separate motion.
I agree. In order for them to come, though, I think it would have to be via Zoom if that's going to be okay, because since they're out of state. Yeah.
Any other discussion?
I'm not exactly sure the direction on this motion, but I would like to remind the council that we passed a motion at a February town council meeting to get a status update on the accounting deficiencies that were laid out in the fiscal year 2021 audit, which was actually due April 9th. That date has come and gone, and I understand because we didn't have a finance director. So I just want to remind the council that we still have that outstanding, and obviously it's going to take some time to get that information with the new finance person. So I don't know if this was kind of where Council Rojo was going with that, or was his just a more of a general question as far as where we're at with the audit?
I think from his comments, that a lot of people have been asking him about the status of the audits. And we don't have anything to tell them right now, so I think he is requesting information so we know what to tell the public when they ask. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But the town manager, or anybody in the town needs from an audit report. The second is really the action matter that comes out of the audit process that's most important. If I could respectfully suggest, just for one, that this one be tabled so the town manager can talk to the audit firm and find out status as Council Ireland and any other years that have to be, so that he can come back and perhaps be moving first. Here's my updates to you, sir. And once you bring motion back to the council, there will be a long, so the motion becomes refined. And you can do that at the very next council, probably just a 2-week interval, if that makes sense.
Item 23, manager bid and spending update. Suggested motion, move to direct the town manager to provide the council a bid and spending update. Innovation Corporation. Motion made to table. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Item 24, accept property offer, Hofer property on Stump Pond. Suggested motion, move to accept the donation of property offer for map 071 lot 028 owned by Julia and David Hofer per attached offer. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Yep.
And what I'm concerned about is the increasing of the boards. If we have, I don't know from the dam, the engineering company that spoke to us 2 years ago about the situation with the dam. Whether we whether we are going to be doing anything to risk failure of the dam by increasing the number of boards or by doing any of this work. So I just caution that we might want to consult with our engineering company before we go too far.
You, Council Street had asked the other day for some information, which you have. I don't have enough for everybody right this second, because I didn't pay attention. I forgot they were stapled. They tried to make copies and that didn't work out so well. So anyway, not a secretary, I'm sorry, very good with that stuff, but I'm getting it. However, Bruce Arnold did provide me with this, and I will just read it to you real quick. The question is, how long can we delay repairs to Stump Pond Dam? Unfortunately, there's no definitive answer to Councilor Street's question. The June 2024 report from Haley Ward is considered preliminary in nature. Phase 2 investigation of the dam is recommended in order to develop a design and associated cost for dam repairs. Further investigation into the geotechnical stability of the dam is essential prior to commencing repairs, so as to prevent the possibility of dam failure. In the attached inspection report, Haley Ward stated that a preliminary cost estimate for phase 2 investigation, this is just the investigation, was on the order of $150,000 to $200,000. The scope of work and design cannot be developed without this investigation, according to what was written here. In June 2024, a probable cost of design and repair replacement was estimated at between $750,000 and $1.5 million, or $750,000 and $150 million. I have included the executive summary of Kleinschmidt Associates September 2020 inspection report, as well as a February 21st photo, 2021, photo of the dam for information purposes. Observations outlined in the report are similar in nature to those identified by Haley Ward. One of the things that Bruce Arnold mentioned was, yes, you can raise the dam, put the boards in and the water level can go up, but then you're going to run the risk of washing out around it. So I just want to make sure you had all that.
Was you're saying that that would be phase 2? Really? Yeah.
Arnold, to get us on the list that the Army Corps of Engineers, I want to say it wrong. Army National Guard. Okay, to be honest, but we're not getting on it until fiscal year 28. He did try to get me on there sooner. I just did not have the time to do it. But finally turned it over to Bruce. They've been working on it, but we are going to be on there. Stump Pond is going to be the first dam, if I understand correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, that they're going to do, but it's not going to happen until fiscal year 28, if I understand the process at this time.
Working through informal channels to see if we can cut the date to a sooner date because of the urgency. And once we have that approved, just for full transparency, this is what the Army calls a training opportunity. We'll be bringing engineering units, preferably from Maine. The rules have changed, they come from somewhere else. The only responsibility the town has is to buy the materials. They will provide the equipment and the labor. So we just keep on tracking, hoping to get a sooner date.
And I would never want to look a gift horse in the mouth. Really appreciate the people who want to donate this land. I just want to make that perhaps we should table it till next time, just to make sure we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed. So we're fulfilling what we say that we're going to do.
Yes, David, can we have a comment from you about I realize we've delayed on accepting a generous offer. What are your thoughts about it?
with the town for some more time. We'd like to see at least some improvements on the launch ramp. There's a boulder in the middle there. It's like the magic act trying to maneuver a trailer between boulders on this, like this, and then one in the center. I don't want to see the boulders dug up because that's part of the dam structure. Many people didn't realize that, but that doesn't mean you can't break the top off. And if you put something down like the South Lincoln boat launch, where they've got the rolled in concrete ramp, that would take care of a lot of your problems because this ramp is so steep that the gravel continually washes down out into the lake. So where you're trying to launch, instead of being down here, comes up every year. And you have to back it further, it gets less effective. So if the town could work on something like that, we'd be happy to work with the town. What many people didn't realize was that the dam was repaired, I would say about 20 years ago when the Haskell Company owned it. There was a leak through the dam and they went in and fixed all that. I mentioned that to Mr. Arnold, who has been really helpful. And he said that was very valuable information because they were under the impression that it had never been maintained at all, which isn't the case. The previous person, and excuse me, I forget his name, he was the, not the assessor, code enforcement officer. He had told me that it was okay to raise the boards as high as I wanted to go. If I was willing to do it, because the problem wasn't the boards, it was if a tree fell down on the bank and pulled a rock out. But that the boards themselves had no effect on that part. That's what I was basing my request on. Just what I was told by a town official. So if there's concerns about that, I'd be happy to work with the town. But I really would like to see some improvements on the ramp. It's not that easy to back the trailer down that ramp without hitting something and getting torn up. Yeah.
Doing work on the ramp shouldn't be a problem for the dam. My concern is raising the boards. On my property, when I raised the boards to a certain point, it began washing out around the dam. Because, and when I remember that when they gave their presentation, that was the thing they were talking about, was not the dam itself, but what was going on to both sides of it. So I'm a bit concerned about having in their dates for having the boards to a particular point. If you're okay with leaving that off to the side.
I will add that I was promised 3 boards 3 different times. I was going to put them in for free. And I had dates they were supposed to arrive. They never arrived. One of the times I could actually have walked out on the face of the dam and put them in place. Now, I'm not able to do that anymore. I did go in and repair the emergency spillway with an emergency repair because the whole pond was in the process of draining out. Turns out I wasn't the only person that had done that over the years. Another town resident had done that. It took a grand total of 4 hours to do that from saying, I had 3 fishermen visiting me. We all had experience in that kind of stuff, including me. We went out, built it, installed it, and the water level started coming up immediately. And we had calibrated it so that it would not exceed the height of the boards that were already in the dam at that point. But it's possible. It's not that hard, but I fully understand the part about needing the engineer to come in and do what you're talking about. So I'd be happy to work with you folks.
Thank you.
Issue or something that needs to be changed on?
Oh, yeah.
Can you repeat that again?
On the town tax maps, it shows the parking lot as being our property. We own the woods. We do not own the property itself. What we had requested was that get corrected and a survey be done. And money was appropriated at one point, or not available at one point to do that survey. to find the existing boundary line between town property and our property. And we were going to add on up to an acre to what's already there that the town does have. But right now it shows that we're the owners and we're not.
You paying property tax on that?
No, well, as far as I know, we're not. My concern is if somebody got hurt out there and their lawyer looked at the tax map and saw, hey, Julia and David Hofer own this, they're coming after us. And it's not ours.
Mr. Town Manager, is that something that we can get fixed fairly easily? I'm gonna let the other two councils worry about the Corps of Engineers and all that. That caught my attention. I'd like to see that fed. And thank you for your generous offer.
Then Charlottetown Code Enforcement. I just wanted to update. So as maps online are not going to reflect for a while. So if you look at the map online and you see something that's not correct, you give us some time to update. Please come in the office and we can validate through the live program called Trio. The other thing is, when you were talking about replacing the boat ramp into there, the DEP has that we can replace 50% of it. And after that, it goes away. Boat ramps are no longer authorized in the state of Maine. Doesn't matter if it's municipal or permanent or private. So if it gets damaged and we replace 50% of it, we can fix it. After that, it's got to be removed. So we want to be careful when we say about that boat ramp. So. Yeah.
Great. Move to table.
Motion's been made and seconded to table. Discussion on tabling it. All those in favor?
Yes.
All those in favor? 5-2 to table. Councilor Rand in Ireland. Item 25, set dates, Fire EMS Ad Hoc Committee. Suggested motion, move to set dates for the Fire EMS Ad Hoc Committee to continue planned work sessions.
Was suspended because of the budget process. So we just need to sit down with the chief and with Mr. Mr. Motion to set up 2 more dates so we can finish the work, because one of the important things that we set in motion is to make sure that all of the agreements we have with different towns set up to pay the same fees, because right now Lincoln is paying for some of the services. So it is important that we sit down later on and just agree on the dates to the continuance so we can finish that work.
Do we have a motion? Motion been made. And seconded. Any discussion?
Ad hoc committee member to set a date. This is not something that we should be doing here as a motion.
Any other discussion?
Strictly a reminder of something we need to do.
All those in favor? Opposed? 2 to 5. Item 26, discussion and update Loon Fest being self-sustaining. I think we kind of covered that earlier during open forum that we wait until we get all the figures in to see what the, okay. Item 27, direct town manager bid and spending update. Move to direct the town manager to provide the council a bid and spending update on federal funds used for remediation and development of the former mill site. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Motion's been made. Do we have a second? Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. Councilor Ireland.
Information come from, Ruth Burke in the economic development. For the town manager.
Yeah, but I think Councilor Rowe's objective is that we communicate through the town manager to that board.
Oh, is that your intent?
Several citizens have said we're spending federal money. How do we know? And being part of the budget committee, every week we sign a whole number of TIF expenditures, different sources of money. So I think it's just important that we have good accountability of how this money is spent.
I don't know about you, but I think I've got from Ruth about 16 copies of spreadsheets of grants and where they've been directed to and what they're being used for. I'm willing to give you a free copy.
I have a copy that was in the question.
Good.
That would be my question, because in the reports that come from the Economic Development Group are the list of all the grants and the expenditures. So what in addition are you looking for?
The question that people have asked me is, can we properly withstand a federal audit? And that's the question I am raising. That's all. That's adequately, if everything is kept in proper order for federal audit.
Which would mean a pre-audit. That they're providing us this information already. You're basically asking us to look for information that they would not provide us if there was a problem with an audit. We need, what you're requesting is something that we would need to go outside of the town office to do.
No, just the assurance that the numbers. So.
That take place, and that if
For the council. Every time you get a constituent request, that doesn't need to come as a motion to the town manager. You could make an inquiry of the town manager and get your question answered. You don't have to make it a motion for the council to act on. There's a lot of work here for the town manager to do, when I think we've learned that there may need to be conversations with others within the administration. Whereas I very much appreciate and endorse Councilor Rojo's approach of asking questions through the town manager. I think he can do that. He doesn't need a motion to do that. So I would defer to the wisdom of council. But
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is defeated, 0-7. Item 28, future agenda items. Yes, sir.
Agenda item or not, I spoke to a couple people and they kind of wanted to know what our thought process was to fire, maybe hiring an outside agency for a town manager. And also, I would like to personally maybe open it up for, applications for 2 weeks, and then by September 1st, then at least it would give that window, then September 1st, then we could next lockdown and outside first.
I will be forwarding information to you all this week about the hiring process. Okay. And then we can email back.
Right.
On the process. Yeah. Yep.
You're gonna still bring that up? Regarding,
But I don't know if I want to bring it up.
Anything else for future agenda item? Item 29.
so moved.